going to do a little taste test. And then we're also going to talk specifically about herbs and spices. So the first thing I want to ask you guys is, what are seasonings and what are flavorings?
Examples of?
Well, what is seasoning? What is the definition of seasoning?
It's a flavoring. Like it doesn't add flavor, but it enhances.
Yes. Marissa said that it enhances the flavor. It doesn't take away, it doesn't add itself to it, which is completely correct. A seasoning, it adds to the dish, but it doesn't, if you do it correctly, it doesn't overpower the dish. So, does anybody know what a flavoring would be then? If a seasoning adds to a dish but doesn't add itself, what would a flavoring do? Yeah. So, a flavoring will add its essence into the dish. A very good example of this would be if you're making an egg custard. Typically you want it to taste like something besides eggs. We add a lot of vanilla extracts to these dishes. So the difference between them would be seasoning as itself makes the dish great, but you don't notice it. And then flavoring would be it adds itself again, but you notice it, it's there, and makes a great impact. So I want to focus a little bit on seasonings. Everybody knows that on your tongue there's 5 senses, and people generally say that there's a specific map of how they apply on your tongue. So we're going to test that out today. So does anybody know what the 5 flavors are for your tongue?
Hard. Sweet, salty, bitter,
Umami.
Yeah. So I heard all of them. They are sweet, sour, savory, bitter, and umami. Umami is fairly new and most people don't always recognize it as being part of your tongue, but it is becoming very popular recently. So I have little cups for you if someone would like to come up and help. So what we're going to do, so can you fill all these 12 cups with a little bit of espresso each? Yes. So for anybody who needs a little bit of caffeine in their lives, you will have some today.
What's a little here? Yeah?
Yes. Okay. Now can I have another volunteer come and separate some of this into 12 cups for me? Thanks, Mike. Which is why I'm only giving you a little. I need, Lucia, would you like to separate that into cups for me? I have more cups. Yeah. And I need one volunteer who is handy with a knife. Come on, Ray. Can you please put this lemon into 12 slices?
12 slices.
Yes.
Very nice.
It's got emotion.
It's not bad to use.
So, what are some dishes that you guys like to, what types of dishes do you generally use a lot of seasoning for?
Meat.
Is there a specific dish in general, like any type of cuisine in general that you use a lot of spices for? Indian food? Mexican.
American.
Maybe your hair.
common type of seasoning that we have.
Herb.
Who said salt? Brittany? Yes, salt is one of the most common types of seasonings, as well as peppers, which most people probably don't think is pepper, is being one of the most common seasonings, but it is. So, the first thing I would like you guys to try is something that you're probably all very used to. I have a salt solution for you guys to try. And when you try it, I want you guys to really think about where on the tongue you're tasting it the most. So, if you could all each come and pick a cup, this is my salt solution. Yes. So I know salt isn't the greatest thing on your palate. Yeah, just taste it, take a little bit, kind of swirl it around your mouth, see where it hits your tongue. So, where on your tongue is it hitting you?
Kind of like everywhere.
Kind of all over? Like the middle? And you say the back?
The tip.
The tip?
Just the tip.
So clearly, all of you have a different idea of where the salt hits you the most on your tongue. And now, if you guys will enjoy this a little better, I would like you to taste this solution. This is a sugar solution. So, I will take all your cups if you would like.
I wish you could zoom on these things.
So what are you guys noticing with the sugar solution? Taste and the size.
Size, yeah.
Just the right side.
Just the right side for you? Anybody else have anything besides the side? No?
Wow, that's cold.
He's
You're
specific
holding
juice.
the glass?
Now for those who need some caffeine, we will try some of the espresso. Bless you.
I'll take two.
Get that? Brittany said tip.
Yeah, I guess.
Middle.
Yeah, tip.
Middle.
Middle back and right.
Coffee.
Grazie.
So how many of you truly enjoy espresso? So I heard middle,
Middle back right.
tip, middle, back, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Being
even
specific.
back.
Okay. Now, the last flavor I have for you, this is umami. So does anybody know how you make an umami solution? Yes. MSG is the main ingredient in this, so if you are sensitive to it, you don't have to taste it. I will say MSG is not bad for you, unless you are sensitive to it. They've done a lot of research on the topic. People believed MSG was bad for you. It's, after extensive research, it's only to those who are extremely sensitive to it. flavor you get from this is a savory taste.
Oh, it is.
I
Kind of like it.
It's like, bro, it's not
I
gonna
don't
be
even know how to describe it.
That's what it is.
I,
Tastes
I
like.
Yep.
It's like seaweed.
I don't know.
It's like bread.
Yeah.
We should have had before this.
Now that I taste on the back.
Did you use the scramble? No.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's like almost like
So, I heard you said that you taste on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I can taste it.
like the back and the side.
yeah, around the outside.
Around the outside.
Yeah.
And the back kind of.
Oh,
Mushroom tea.
Oh, sure, tea.
yeah. That's definitely what it tastes like. Mushroom tea.
Or miso soup.
It definitely lingers for a long time.
Yeah, get it out.
So, I promise I will not be destroying your taste buds anymore after this. The last thing I have for you is sour, which is so take a lemon slice.
Yeah, I think I need this. So I put my two
That was better touch my palate, thank you.
the side.
You're not sure?
Yeah. To the side.
So does anybody have a clear sense of where it's hitting them on their tongue? Backside, sides? Anybody else?
Tip middle
Everywhere?
left.
Tip middle left? Trying to be specific.
Yeah, I was
Sure? Okay.
So, from this tongue that I've drawn, I know it's lovely drawing, what does it tell us about what we typically think of a map of our mouth? Normally you just see clean side lines in the, on a tongue, specific flavors, specific spots. With this, you guys are all over the map. So this is more telling us that everybody has a different sense for seasonings, different tastes, and that a generalized map isn't always going to cut it for us. But that is to get you in, a little bit more involved into what seasonings are. All of these would be, they would enhance a dish, and if used properly, they wouldn't overpower it. A lot of MSG is used in cooking with meats because it enhances the flavor of them. Salt is used on a lot of dishes, even sweet dishes, to enhance the flavor of those. So the next thing I would like to do with you guys is we're going to actually now look at some different herbs and spices. So, does anybody notice something about all the spices compared to the different herbs we have? Dry versus fresh. So, is an herb always fresh? No?
Well,
So-
usually those are like, primarily the spices can be like barks or seeds or things of that nature, whereas herbs are usually leaves.
Yeah, we're actually just about to get into that. So, one thing, high five. One thing we notice is all of our fresh herbs are leafy and green, bright green, and with that, where do you think they come from on a plant? The leaves, sometimes the stems, which is on our lovely drawing. We have the green parts. This would be the brown part would be the bark, which wouldn't be used, but all of the leaves definitely would be herbs for us. So, along with we just talked about where herbs come from. One thing to know about herbs is they are leafy greens, except for if they are considered a main item. What this means is spinach, for example, is a very common dish. It's leafy, it's green, it's not considered an herb. So if it's considered a main item like spinaches, it's not an herb, but a lot of like basil and thyme, those generally go along with different dishes, and that would be an herb. So can someone explain a little bit more on the spices? Where do they come from on a plant? Hi.
Barks, seeds, stems, leaves. Sorry, I was coming through before you said that.
I know that cinnamon sticks up from Mars. Yeah. There you go. Does anybody know what a clove is besides Brittany, who I explained earlier what a clove is? Yep. A clove is actually a flower bud that is dry. So
Flower. They put it in the flower.
it wouldn't tell me that. Yeah.
Probation.
So as you can see, this would go with the herbs. We have a lot of different spices. They look completely different from each other. It depends on where they come from on the plant, and it depends on what you're going to use them for. A lot of these, when would you add spices to a dish when cooking it? In the beginning? And then where would you add a lot of these fresh herbs? At the end. It's very important that dried herbs and spices get added very early, because the way they add their flavor to a dish is from heat and from long time with a product. So if you guys want to come up and look at these, you can smell them, you can touch them. It's not scary. So, one more thing I would like to show you guys is, these are very common in the store nowadays. They are seasoning packets from McCormick. They pre-measure all of your spices and seasonings, put them into a little packet, and on the back give you a recipe to how to make this specific dish. So, they give you all of the information you need, and they do all the measuring for you when it comes to the spices. These are really quick and convenient, and on sale right now, so if you need them. Okay. So I have a copy of my tree for you, and I would like everybody to, you can take a seat at this point. If everybody could label where you would find herbs and also label where you would find spices on it.
Thank you.
19.
We like write this in the pipes or this.
Where would you find an herb on that plant, and where would you find a spice on that plant?
Do we write this in first? No, this spice.
Yeah.
Spices, I could find spices in this general area, I could find them in this area in fruits. Possibly any flowering buds up in this area. And then herbs I would find everywhere.
No, we're supposed to do this.
You're supposed to, on it, label where you would find an herb and label where you would find a spice.
Specific one or just?
Not a specific, like, just like in general, where would you find herbs and where would you find spices on the plant?
How many would you like?
As many as you can find.
Hitters. Hitters.
And as you guys are filling that out pretty quickly, I'm also going to pass around, I have this little worksheet for you guys, and what it is I have a list of different flavorings, spices, herbs, and spices on here. Yes. I like to mix them up. So if you guys could go through, I have, you put an S for spice, an H for an herb, SE for a seasoning, and F for a flavoring. So just go through and label them. So some of them could have more than one answer. So like salt could be a spice, and it could also be something else on here. You're gonna fill them all out. Is it,
Yeah, why don't we get all new flavorings as well? And you can make them based on ice cream and such. So it's also flavoring and do you want both answers?
as many answers as you can. So, but with vanilla extract, it's not me. It's specifically in it's an infused alcohol. So it's a specific one, but it's not.
Oh, I see what you did there. It's
Yes.
Cilantro can be an herb and a spice because the seeds are used as brand. Maybe both.
So as you guys are finishing that up, I will collect them at the end, but I would like to show you this real quickly. So what I'm going to show you is a lot of people now, I'm pretty sure most of you in the class even, have a smartphone of some sort, and there are many apps that, there are many apps that you can use on your iPhone, your Android phone, that help a lot with, for our industry, the cooking process. And I found this really great app that I want to show you guys. It's actually a really great app. So it allows you to see a bunch of different meals and tips for it. You can also use this app to do different substitutions, which I'll show you a little more later. They have specific terms. So if it's been a while and you can't remember what al dente means, there's the definition for you. It shows you different types of measurements. And it also shows you what happens when you're cooking at a different altitude. So what I really like about this is, especially for different herbs and spices, is it allows you to see the difference between if you needed fresh garlic for a recipe but you only had dry on hand, it shows you the conversion for that. But it also, for onion, not only does it show you conversion from fresh onion to dry onion, but it also shows you if you don't have an onion, you can use leeks, shallots, garlics, daikon, or aspidita powder, and that is a substitute for onion. So this is a really great app. Again, it's called Cooking, and it's free in the App Store on iPods or iPhones. So if you guys are interested, you should totally download it. It's great, and I find it useful. So when you're done with your papers, you can pass them in, but does anybody have any questions about our lesson?